So then we are back with a more understanding from the time of the Second Tabernacle services, where we find in the Aramaic English translation of the word. This translation comes from the original manuscripts of the prophets of the Israelic lineage. So then we can understand the time of the end as per Yirmiyahu the prophet. We find a layer of understanding of the spring feast, the autumn feast, and also the returning of the cities of the Messiah laid waste for many centuries. So then as we study these documents, we find then tabernacling is returning on the land of Cush, northern Sudan, and then the world is preparing itself for the main transition of the trade of this world, given then the initiation of the time of the end. As we find then the news at the moment, we find many military powers are trying then, obviously going against China, but they don't understand Daniel the 11th chapter, where then it's not division of China, but extension of. Let's try understanding then what's going on. In South China Sea, there is a dispute of the islands at the moment because of the oil and gas found some time ago. And that we can understand the situation, but the United States is taking a step that's not truly gentlemanlike. It's true that Tokyo or then Japan, they have their saying so also regarding these islands, but this situation does not give the US then the clearance of flying a couple of unharmed B-52 bombers that went through without any damage. And then these bombers also did not have any arms in them, but unfortunately US did not inform the Chinese authorities that were going over those islands. So let's try to understand then the gentlemanlike of the situation, because rather than working on the computer, working on the linker, you find then US once again provoking war. It's not going to work. For so many times didn't work, and the more the time goes on, it's not going to work. So let's evaluate what went on. A couple of these aircrafts went over the islands without notification. Then you found sometime previously Mr. Putin was working with the South Korean and North Koreans to try to unite both of them, and now we have then a conflict of both situations. Obviously, Mr. Putin must start then becoming more vocal regarding then the influence of US, then influencing China, of then taking a stronger stand and then get these situations solved. It's not by using aircrafts without notification that's going to grant the Japanese the islands. US must remain neutral and then inform of their intentions. United States is taking again a childish understanding of the situation, trying to provoke Japan and South Korea against China. It's not going to work. What went on this year then in March? United States led another situation against China and didn't work. Only ended up with the Prime Minister of Australia being deposed. So let's understand then a very important fact regarding Mr. Putin. He has started a very great nice deal with South Korea to build ships in the Soviet Union in a couple of years. Very honorable. However, the situation can be at jeopardy if the North Koreans are involved. So then let's try to understand these as per Daniel the 11th chapter, because as we can understand, then the Northern Kingdom will become the military power ever known on this planet. As we can understand, the Northern Kingdom will come with much equipment. Understanding equipment in old language means military equipment. So obviously in this situation, Mr. Putin must become more vocal and starting then to put on his then demands of how he should then explain to them the way the situation should run. Does not mean taking over. Does not mean then being aside, but being more firm with the situation regarding then China and the South China Sea. Because as we want to be obedient, we want harmony, and as we can understand, there are lots of refurbishment that must be done in the Middle East and then leaving only Congo in conflict. So the map of objectives is very simple and very blunt and very instructive. However, playing around with enticing war, it's not going to work. Let's then watch the later developments, because not only then China and then Japan, but also is involving then South Korea. So US is trying again to start up conflicts for no reason. Should work on a computer system because there is a transition going on, as we can understand, regarding then the European Union. They tried and tried and tried, and they have then risen the price of these percentages of taxes of then solar products from 17.1 to 42.1%. Understandably, China has then a 45 billions of euro swap with China, indicating then the new system already coming, and obviously US doesn't know what to do in trying then to go against China. They are doing the worst action ever. They should be working on the computer system, the linker, so then later the US can become richer, as we can understand later in the 11th chapter. So this deal of influencing Japan and then South Korea against China, forget it. The situation before didn't work. Then came the scandal of the milk, didn't work. Then we have to understand the 11th chapter of Daniel and work harmoniously. So then the world can be at peace except Congo for a time. Please stay tuned. Much more coming up.